yeah, yeah. Ay, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Check my bank account while I plan this flight. Climbing up the ladder toward a brand new height. Watch me ignite every single stage of pure light. Moving like a ghost through the city every night. Build this gold empire from a simple dirty dream. Everything I touch starts to glisten and to gleam. Flowing through the system like a heavy liquid stream. Working till my vision is the only winning scheme. Hands up high because we own the entire street. Moving with the rhythm of the heavy urban beat. Leaving all the doubters in the middle of heat. Victory is tasting like a flavor truly very sweet. Never looking back because we found the perfect flow. Burning like a furnace with a steady neon glow. Watching all the seeds that I finally did so. Rising to the peak where the chilly winds blow. Harder than the diamonds that they find deep inside. Taking every chance with a lot of heavy pride. Surfing on the chaos like a giant ocean tide. Staying on the track while the fake ones slide. Do not need a label for the magic here. Making all my enemies just vanish and then disappear. Living like without a single ounce of any fear. Keeping my direction and my focus very crystal clear. Throw the money down like it is falling rain. Breaking every link of the heavy mental iron chain. Dancing till the muscles feel a little bit pain. Only winners ever get to ride the private train. Sparking up the static in the crowded dark room. Watch the lotus flower finally begin to slowly bloom. Sweeping up the trophy with the golden metal broom. Basses hitting heavy with the loud sonic boom. Pour another glass of the expensive vintage pink wine. Looking at the mirror and I see I shine. Everything I want is eventually going to be mine. Crossing over every single limit in the finish line. They can try to stop me but I stay. Turning all the darkness into a very bright day. Listen to the things that my spirit will say. Living for the moment in a very bold way. Neon lights are flashing like a bolt from sky. Spread the heavy wings because we want to fly. Never told a secret over dirty little lie. Look into the fire burning deep inside my eyes. Standing on the summit with the trophy in hand. Leading every person in the middle of the land. Doing all the things that we originally had planned. Writing on my legacy upon the desert hot sand. Pressure turns a coal into a very solid rock. Listen to the ticking of the giant metal clock. Walking with the rhythm and a very heavy shock. Anchoring the vessel right beside the old wooden dock. Moving really fast like a bullet from a gun. Dancing in the heat of the golden summer sun. Having so much energy and having so much fun. Racing till the race is very finally quite done. Designer on the body while I step on stage. Turning over every single paper and the new page. Breaking out of every single metal prison and cage. Wisdom coming slowly with the coming of my age. Counting up the paper till the fingers start ache. No more making any kind of silly little mistake. Moving through the water of the very cold lake. Eating every piece of the big frosted chocolate cake. Feel the heavy thunder deep inside the open chest. Putting all the power to a very final test. Better than the others and the better than best. Flying to the north and the east and west. Living for the glory and the heavy golden crown. Never let a hater ever bring a person down. Driving in a Royce through the middle of town. Wearing a designer in a very expensive silk gown. Ay. Looking to the future with a very sharp lens. Chasing all the paper with my very best friends. Making sure the money never ever really quiet ends. Healing every wound that a broken person then mends. Harder than the concrete in the middle of park. Lighting up the world with a very bright spark. Swimming like a hunter or a very fast shark. Leaving on the map a very permanent black mark. Silence is the weapon for a very quiet soul. Taking back the power in the very full control. Swallowing the fire in the very hot black coal. Climbing up the mountain to the very highest note. Heavy is the head that is wearing the gold. Doing all the things that I was never told. Breaking every shape in the very ancient heavy mold. Story of a journey that has finally been slow. Music is the rhythm of the life we live. Having all the energy that I can never give. Pouring up the water through a very metal sea. Learning how to truly and to deeply just forgive. Mic is hitting zero when the lights go black. Never going back. The very old dusty track. Putting all the jewels in the heavy leather sack.
Look at the mirror and see a true king. Every morning I wake up and do my thing. Hit the bell of the city, start to ring. Spread out the heavy feathers of my gold wing. Hunger is the only meal that I ever ate. Never showing up to the party fashionably too late. Mentally I'm living in a very wealthy state. Lock the negative energy right outside the front gate. Watch how all of my diamonds start to glow. Moving with the very heavy they wanted to show. This is the only life that I truly know. Neon colors making the whole entire city look bright. Electric energy is moving through the flashes of light, keeping the massive vision within my own clear sight. Climbing up the ladder to a brand new height. Every single day I am staying on my grind, leaving all the toxic people way far back behind. Peace is the only thing I need to find, keeping all the focus inside of my sharp mind. Working hard until I finally get a massive pay, doing everything in my own very specific, unique way, knowing that the top is where I will stay, dominating every second of my busy and long day. Fueling up the engine for a very long drive, feeling like I'm finally and truly very alive. Watching how the garden of my efforts will thrive, staying at the office past the hour of 5. Chasing after legacy and not just for the fame, changing up the rules of the entire global game, making sure that everybody remembers my very own name. Energy is wild and it is hard to tame. I do not hide any of my battle scars, looking up at all the bright and distant stars, driving very fast in some of the expensive cars, dropping heavy wisdom inside of these melodic music bars. Totally I feel that I am completely and free, nobody can ever dictate what happens to just me, sailing the rough waves of a deep sea, growing tall and strong like a very old tree, living every bit of passion for my inner soul, keeping my eyes fixed on the very final goal, taking back the power in my own full control, playing in the movie with a very late role, making every single move and always acting very bold, turning everything I touch into a pile of gold. My integrity is something that will never be sold, pressure is the reason that the weak people fold. I will never let my spirit ever truly break, thinking of the massive moves I have to make, grabbing every single opportunity that I can possibly take, leaving ripples on the surface of a deep lake. Deep lake. Looking at the vision, and it is very clear, I have forgotten how it feels to have fear, knowing that the moment of my victory is near. These are the only words that I should hear. Catching every second of this very heavy vibe, rolling with the members of my very loyal tribe, writing down the story like a very ancient scribe. Honesty is something that no person can ever bribe, staying very young and staying very wild, dreaming like I used to as a small child. My ambition is never going to be very mild, look at all the money that is being piled, taking all the energy and reaching up so high, painting several colors on the canvas of the sky, spreading out my wings because I finally can fly. I am gonna be a very successful guy, mentally and physically I am becoming more than strong. I have been waiting for this moment very long, singing out the lyrics of my very favorite song, proving to the world that they were all wrong. Walking to the rhythm of a very heavy beat, dealing with the pressure and the very high heat, running every single corner of the very busy street, tasting all the victory because it is so sweet. Looking at the world from a very different view, everything I am doing is something fresh and new, always staying grounded and always staying very true, deciding on the things that I must always do. Walking down the center of my very own path, calculating all the numbers like I'm doing math. Nobody can handle all the power of my raft, dipping into luxury like a very warm expensive bath, climbing all the way until I reach the top. I have a momentum that will never ever stop, waiting for the heavy bass to finally just drop, feeling like a bubble that is really gonna pop, making sure this energy is always gonna last, leaving all the shadows in the very distant past, moving through the traffic and I am driving fast, looking at the shadows that the giant trees cast. Hunger for the life because I really want more, opening the lock on a very heavy iron door.